Hi, it's time for our Lego Bible story. Are you ready? I have Action Jesus to keep us company today because the Lego Jesus we don't need for this story because this story comes from the Old Testament. The Old Testament are the books of the Bible that happened before Jesus was born. And this comes from the second book of Kings, but it's actually a story about two prophets, Elijah and Elisha. When the Lord was about to take Elijah up to heaven in a whirlwind, Elijah and Elisha were traveling. And Elijah said to Elisha, "Stay here, for the Lord has asked me to go to Bethel." But Elisha said, "Nope, I'm coming with you." And so they went down together to Bethel. And a group of prophets came out from Bethel to talk to Elisha to say, "Did you know that the Lord is going to take your master away from you today?" And Elisha said, "I know, but don't tell anybody." Then Elijah came out and said, "Stay here. The Lord has told me to go to Jericho." And Elisha said, "Nope, I'm staying with you." And so he went with him. Then at Jericho, a group of prophets came out and said to Elisha, "Did you know that the Lord is going to take your master today?" And Elisha again said, "Yes, I know, but be quiet about it." Then Elijah came to Elisha and said, "Stay here, for the Lord has told me to go to the river Jordan." And once again, Elisha said, "No, I'm coming with you." And so they went on together. And 50 men from the group of prophets came and watched from a distance as Elijah and Elisha stopped beside the Jordan River. Then Elijah folded his cloak and struck the water with it. And it divided, and the two of them went across on dry ground. When they came to the other side, Elijah said to Elisha, "Tell me what I can do for you before I'm taken away." And Elisha replied, "Please let me inherit a double share of your spirit and become your successor. So do what you have been doing." And Elijah said, "You've asked a difficult thing. If you see me when I'm taken from you, then you will get your request. But if not, then you won't." And as they were walking along and talking, suddenly a chariot of fire appeared, drawn by horses of fire. And it drove between the two men, and Elijah was carried by a whirlwind to heaven. Elisha saw it and cried out, my father, I see the chariots and the charioteers of Israel." And as they disappeared from sight, Elisha tore his clothes in distress. That's some story, isn't it? I'm not even sure what I'm going to make it like. It sounds to me, in this story, that Elijah and Elisha were very close, and Elijah was Elisha's teacher. I wonder if there's anybody in your life who is a teacher to you, who's very close to you. And that Elijah was also very close to God. Must have been, right? Because he was going to be taken up into heaven. He wasn't going to just die. He was just going to be taken away. And Elijah and Elisha being so close, and Elisha knowing that Elijah was going to be taken away, every time God told Elijah to go someplace, Elijah said, "Yeah, I'm coming with you." So first they went to Bethel, and then they went together to Jericho. And each time they went, a group of people would come and tell Elisha, did he know what was happening? So everybody must have known that this was happening to Elijah, or at least the prophets. Those are all the people who kind of are the messengers for God, who say God's truth to people. And then they went to Jericho. And then they went to the river Jordan. And when they got there, don't have a lot of blue pieces today. Elisha put down his cloak, like his coat, and touched the water, and it parted. I wonder if you remember another story where the water parted. Do you remember that happened with Moses? But in this case, these just two went through. And when they were talking, Elijah wanted to give something to Elisha before he left. I wonder if somebody was going to give you something before they were taken away, what you would want. But Elisha said he wanted a double portion, like twice as much spirit as Elijah had. He wanted to do the work that Elijah was doing. And Elijah said, well, if you see me taken away, then that'll happen. It sounds like it was hard to miss. A chariot. I'm not even going to try. A chariot came and it was on fire and it went between the two of them. And then Elijah was taken up. And Elisha was sad and tore his clothes. I wonder if you would build a chariot of fire. That'd be kind of fun, I think. I just don't know how. But it'd be cool to do and have Elijah going up in it. I wonder why Elisha wanted to do the work that Elijah was doing. I wonder why their names were so similar. Did you keep track of them in the story? I wonder why all the other prophets knew what was happening and that Elijah was going to be taken away. Because first there were the prophets at Bethel. The prophet at Bethel. And then there were the prophets at Jericho. And they all kept talking to Elisha as though Elisha didn't know what was happening. I wonder if Elisha was a lot younger and if they were older. I wonder if that ever happens to you where people think you don't know what's going on because you're younger. I wonder what it was like for Elisha to think about doing the work that Elijah did. I wonder if you have ever seen somebody who you thought was doing the work of God. There are a lot of ways to do the work of God, aren't there? There are people like me who wear this, and they're kind of easy to tell. But the people who do the work of God have all different kinds of jobs, don't they? There are people who are doing the work of God who are working in hospitals to help heal people. There are people who do the work of God by being kind to kids in their class. Maybe you do the work of God in that way. I think that some of the work of God that Elijah did was telling other people about God and what God wanted the people to do. I wonder if you would like to do that. Prophets were often people that people didn't like because they don't always like to be told what to do or that what they're doing isn't what God wants. I wonder if Elisha knew how hard it was going to be. I wonder if Elisha knew how close he would be to God. I wonder if that's what he saw with Elijah, and that's what he wanted. I wonder if there's anybody you know who you see and you really look up to, and you would like to be like them. I wonder what you would ask from those people. I wonder if you will build chariots of fire. And if you do, if you could please send me a picture, I would really appreciate it. I wonder what you'll do.